What's up, YouTube? You know what time it is? MightyFan time here with another vid here. I did make mention of this in my last video that from time to time I wanted to show some of the hats in my collection. Very large hat collection, obviously. I try to get as many hats as I can to go with the jerseys that I have, which is quite expansive collection. And like I said before, I'm one of those guys that likes to, pair it up, the jersey and the hat deal there. Not always so much with the shoes, It's just I don't know how I could do that, but yeah, it would be I would have real problems with the Bills then. Um, but from time to time, I thought I would share some of the some of the hats in the collection, and what I have here, these are the hats I got late last year, I guess, from the fall, maybe late fall until early this year from HatLand. HatLand, if you know or don't know, it's a site that specializes obviously in selling hats, and they have a nice selection on there. Nice stuff. And one of the things that they do, they have these HatLand exclusives, where it's just the HatLand that stuff they do. They did this line for baseball last year for MLB. Where they did all these different looking, baseball hats. And I really liked them. I thought they were really, nice and went well with jerseys. So, of course, I was happy to see that. And, the fact that they were doing some deals, I guess because it was around the holiday time and they were doing a bunch of different deals. So, all these ones that I got were part of deals. Or I think one of these, the first one here was a clearance one that I was able to get. I think actually a couple of these were in the clearance section now. Full disclosure, I do apologize. The hats I show, unless for some reason they're still on there, I don't think they have them anymore. Maybe they get them again. Maybe they do them again or whatnot. But so this is not. These are not like a pickup deal, like a unboxing or anything like that. This is, I just got it, and I've had these for a while. So I do apologize. You really like the hat. You're like, how long I got to HatLand and get it, and it's not there. Don't blame me. It's just I'm just showing them now. I've had these for a number of months, but baseball season's in full swing. The Phillies have, they got roughed up today to the to the Braves 15-1, but it was their opener. Vince Velasquez should never start another game. I know he's been okay in the bullpen, but no, Vince, no. Don't start another game, please. Now, you know what? And I do think the Phillies will be okay because I don't think anyone in this division, including the Phillies, are going to run away with anything. I think it's going to be a tight division, throughout. All teams in this division have been very up and down. I mean, the Braves right now are up, but like a week from now, they could be down, and it is what it is. The Phillies need to make some moves, and they, of course, were very aggressive this offseason. I don't think it's going to end in the offseason. I mean, the acquisition of Jay Bruce, I think, should tell people, what that the organization is still looking to make moves. And there's some pieces they need to get. They need an everyday center fielder. Of course, the loss of Andrew McCutchen was a big loss weeks ago in San Diego. They need a frontline starter. Maybe a move here and there. I know they're going to start getting guys back for the bullpen, so I'm not overly concerned about that. I would like to see them get another guy for the back end of the bullpen. We'll see. Maybe they can package something with a team. If they make a move for a center fielder, maybe get a reliever, or maybe if they get a starter, get a reliever in that deal too. There are players out there, and they have to be aggressive because, look, anymore, as we know, it's not just about the trade deadline. Because at least years ago, after the trade deadline, you still had the guys who you had the waiver period, and you don't have that anymore. So after the trade deadline, after July 31st, that's it. The roster you have, unless you call guys up from the minor leagues, that's it. You're not getting help anywhere else. And you've seen teams be aggressive in making moves, including the Phillies getting Jay Bruce, which was a good move for them. Because you saw the Yankees yesterday getting Edwin Encarnacion, from the Seattle Mariners, another player from the Mariners. Well, the Mariners, they're just open for business. Who do you want? Here you go. Yeah, I guess the Yankees need another home run hitter. Yeah. But there are guys who could be out there, and potentially, guys out there right now that the Phillies, possibly could go out and get, like a Starlin Marte from the Pirates. I think that would be a nice move to solidify center field. A guy I kind of like, but I don't know if they're going to be that willing to move him until the deadline to see where they are, because technically they're still in the hunt for the wild card. Is Adam Jones with the Diamondbacks? A veteran, still having a good year with the Diamondbacks. And a veteran leader. And, obviously you lose McCutchen, and I know he's still with the team, but not on the field, obviously. But, it'd be nice to have another veteran leader in the lineup. But, whether you get Marte or Jones, or maybe there's another name out there I'm just not thinking of on another team that's tanking right now. There's some players out there, and there's some moves that they can make. Obviously, get another starter like a Bumgarner or Greinke, Robbie Ray, someone like that could come here and help solidify the starting rotation. I'm okay with them not getting Dallas Keuchel. I understand he went to the Braves. To me, Dallas Keuchel could possibly be a system guy with the Astros. We already have one of those, and we got Jake Arrieta, who was a system guy with the Cubs. Okay. And Dallas Keuchel could be in that same vein as Jake Arrieta, was with the Cubs. Really good with the Cubs, goes to another team, and we've seen what Jake Arrieta's been here. Same thing could be said for Dallas Keuchel. The Astros. Not for nothing. Look, you had Duke, who was a good pitcher with the Pirates, goes to the Astros, becomes a stud. Verlander finds the fountain of youth there, right? Morton, he's pitched well with the Rays, but briefly was a Philly, goes to the Astros, and is one of their big pieces to the World Series. So guys have all pitched well there. You might not have that same success elsewhere, and I know Morton's done okay with the Rays, pitched pretty good with the Rays, but who's to say? Keuchel could go to the Braves and not be very effective for them. So we'll see. I would have liked them to have gotten Kimbrel. I understand that the Cubs gave him 3 years, and for a guy who's 30 plus, that might be a lot. The money was there. It might be a little much, but you know what? The Cubs have been nothing but aggressive, and in win mode now for how many years in a row. So it's not too surprising that they go and get him. But yeah, it is disappointing. And to his credit, Hector Neris has pitched pretty good. It's funny that two of the Phillies' most ineffective relievers last year were two of their most effective relievers this year, in Hector Neris and Adam Morgan, who's now in the IL. Hopefully we get him back soon. But that's baseball. That shows the nature of the beast in this sport. Every year is a different year, and to their credit, they found themselves again in this league, and Neris has been for the most part very effective. Although that game on Friday night against Atlanta, that we all felt the way JT Realmuto felt last night when he got the ball to the Jewels. Okay, that we all felt that on Friday night. So that game was very disappointing, but then they bounced back and kind of gave the Braves a disappointing game last night. And then, of course, the Braves, went off on the Phillies opener tonight. They couldn't do the opener against the Diamondbacks. They had to do it again. But then again, look, the way this lineup against Fulton Haywich, who sucks this year, you couldn't do much offensive. And I know they had some thump out of the lineup, but it's like, really? That's baseball. But I am hoping, like I said, look, the Phillies are going to be playing division opponents for a long time after a long time not playing them. So starting this weekend up until the next few weeks, it's all division opponents. And this week you got 4 against the Nationals, and you got 3 next weekend against the Marlins. I'll be at 2 of those games. So, and that's a must-sweep series right there against the Marlins. You got to sweep that series at home against the Marlins. And I know it's June and it's still not even the All-Star game's been played, but these are the series that you got to take care of business against. And I believe after that, if I'm not mistaken, they're playing the Mets here. So, yeah, you're playing nothing but division rivals and division opponents for the next, how many weeks. And for the most part, the Phillies have done okay in the division. I know this weekend they dropped 2 or 3. The Nationals have given them trouble. For as poorly as the Nationals have played at times this year, they've played the Phillies pretty good so far. So, it's a 4-game set in Washington. You're going to see Scherzer and Strasburg the last 2 games of that series. Not going to be easy, but they got to find a way, Because, like I said, as high as the Braves are right now, a week from now they can plummet. That's just how this division has gone. The Phillies were really hot for one point, down they go, So it's always going to even out. You're not just going to always, do that. There are going to be times where it's the roller coaster, and for the Phillies at that time when the Braves might not be playing as well, that's where you got to take advantage, as the Braves have done when the Phillies have been going through the motions these past few weeks, and the injuries have really mounted up, and it is what it is, no excuses, but it is what it is. And they took advantage. I mean, they went on a tear, and maybe playing the Pirates helped, but they they've gone on a tear, and the Phillies have obviously dropped the last two series. So now they got to get back to it. Worst comes to worst, split with the Nationals. 3 or 4 would be great, but if they split, sweep the Marlins. Take 2 or 3 from the Mets. Go back into the winning ways in these series, and then we'll see what happens with the Braves. Look, they're not. They don't have this unstoppable team. I mean, they have some starter issues. They have some relief pen issues. So we'll see. They've been playing really good. Give them credit. Really good. This team that made the playoffs last year. I mean, they know. I mean, they've had success. So, they're not into this season with disbelief. They believe, and they're playing really well. And they're a scary team. Good lineup. The pitchers. We'll see about Dallas Keuchel. I don't really think that's a great starting lineup. I mean, their relievers have a lot left to be desired, including their closer, Jackson. But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, no one's going to run away with this thing this year. It's going to be nip and tuck. It's going to be a tight division race. It's going to be exciting. I look forward to the games in August, September. When it really heats up. And I mean, for the most part, the Phillies have played pretty decent. I mean, I know it's not what we all were thinking maybe it could be at this point of the season, but they're in the hunt. They're in the thick of it. There's moves that they have to make, and if their front office was as serious about it as they were before the season, got to make those moves. They need a center fielder, and they need another starter, at least. Those 2 pieces they must get if they have hopes to keep going into this thing. Plus, they got to get guys off the IL. Some of those guys from the bullpen. But we'll see. You know what? Like I said, I'm still. Hey, it sucks losing that series to the Braves, but it is what it is. We'll be playing them plenty more times. So have opportunities to get back at them. But let's get this thing back on the right track this week, and take it through the weekend, take it through next week. Go on a hot streak here, win some series, and we'll see how the Chips play. Play themselves out the rest of the season. It's better than the alternative. I mean, there's plenty of teams in this league right now who suck, who are just awful, and I'm glad at least the Phillies have their head above water, instead of down below, because, that's no fun. We've sat through seasons like that, so I'll take this. I'll take this over that. As frustrating as some of these games could be, I'll still take this over that. Because I know this is a good team, and they'll, they will compete, and this organization will make moves, to get some help for this in the areas where they have to. At least they better. But anyhow, a little side topic, but it is, these hats are baseball hats, so we got to talk a little baseball, talk a little Phillies, and let's get into the hats here. So first of all, again, these are all HatLand exclusives that I picked up late last year into early this year. And these go, of course, me being the jersey head, these go with jerseys. So first one here, and I don't have a jersey for this. Full disclosure, but everything else I have a jersey for. In some cases, multiple jerseys for. But first one here, and I want to give a big shout out to Major League Hats. I know he's a big Giants fan living in the Bay Area. I was at that ballpark years ago when my cousins got married in Napa Valley, and my dad and I went out to San Francisco and had a great time. Beautiful city, beautiful area, beautiful ballpark. It was funny because I was there wearing my Phillies stuff, Phillies paraphernalia, and it was early in the season, and it was one of those years after they won a World Series, so it was like a ring day and it was against the Cardinals. So the Phillies had nothing to do with that game, but I was representing where I'm from. And I was out there wearing my Chase Utley jersey and my Phillies hat, Phillies jacket. I can't find the picture. There's a picture of me that my dad took standing in line to go into the stadium, and it's just a sea of orange and black. And there I am with my gray Phillies jersey. It's just the most out of place person in that line. But it was a ton of fun, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who hasn't been there. Get to a game there. It's a neat experience there, right on the bay there, McCovey Cove and everything, and you got all the seagulls. And it's a different experience, but it's very good, very friendly people there, and, great experience. One of the things I did when I was there is I partook in the garlic fries. Now, I like French fries, and I like garlic, so it was garlic fries, so I was happy. And I ate them, and they were very good. I do recommend them. So when I saw this hat on HatLand last year, it was in the clearance section. I knew I had to get it. I don't know what this hat is from. So if anyone knows if this is a special hat they made, or if this was a hat that one of the minor league affiliates of the Giants wore, or whatever, but it's a garlic fry guy hat. And so here it is in the Giants colorway, and there's the garlic fry guy right there throwing a pitch. I guess throwing the opening pitch of a game, and there it is. It just reminded me of that trip, and it reminded me of eating those garlic fries. Sorry, don't listen to that. Yeah, me eating the garlic, me eating his buddies that day, and enjoying them. And it was like I said, it was cool. So this hat just reminded me of that, so I picked it up. I don't know what this is from. If this was a minor league deal or whatever, no idea. It doesn't have the minor league symbol on the back. It just has the kind of SF. So it probably has nothing to do with minor leagues or major leagues. It may have just been a special hat that was made by HatLand. I have no idea. They had a couple variations of this, but this one I like the most. So there it is. If anyone knows what this was from or if it's just a special thing they made, let me know in the comments below. But like I said, it reminded me of my time there, so I had to pick it up. These next ones all are Major League Baseball, though. And they're all HatLand exclusives. So HatLand will, at times, they will make hats for teams in their own way. These aren't hats the teams ever wore or anything like that. Although some of them I think they should have, particularly this one. And when I saw this, I knew for sure I had to grab it because I have that pullover powder blue Twins jersey, that Kirby Puckett. I also have a Rod Carew, same jersey. So I saw this hat I had to get. This hat goes perfect with those jerseys. And this is not a hat the Twins ever wore. I wish they did. And in fact, back for that era, they wore the red hat with the navy blue brim, which I think goes better with the white pullover jerseys than the baby blues that they wore. This hat certainly goes perfect with the baby blues, and I wish they wore this back in those days. Because, you can't get any better, than this with that particular jersey. No Batterman logo in the back, so it's made to look like a vintage hat. But, again, this was a HatLand exclusive. It's also got the green under brim, again, making it look more vintage. So, and then the TC logo on the front. The red button, the red brim, and I do love dual colorway hats. So, the baby blue on top for the crown, and it's got the red brim. Very nice. Always like those particular style hats. This next one is for the Montreal Expos. So you got like the old pinwheel design, but it's a little different because the old pinwheel, the original pinwheel design, the front here was white. But what HatLand did with their exclusive version of it, they made it the powder blue, the sky blue, or maybe call it what you want. That's the color that the Expos had on their road jerseys, which I have a few of in the collection. It was this color. So when I saw this on the hat, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that's going to go with. But there's the Expos logo. It's got the navy blue brim. It's also got the green under brim. No Batterman logo. It's got the big, like I said, the Expos logo, the baby blue on the front panel, and then side panels are red. It's got the blue button, navy blue button, and the navy blue backing. So like I said, everything else about this hat is how the Expos wore it besides the front panel. Because the front panel on the originals is white. And this one was baby blue. Now, and looking at this, I'm like, yeah, the front panel probably, when they wore it, should have been baby blue. That was one of their colors for those jerseys. But it is what it is. So I'm happy that, if anything else, HatLand wanted to do their version of it. Next up, we have the Oakland A's. Again, shout out to Major League Hats. Shout out to all the... Even though he's not exactly an A's fan, he's a Giants fan, but shout out to all the A's fans. I know we have lots of A's fans in the jersey heads and hat heads communities. So here you go. Have quite a few old A's jerseys in the collection. This one is just perfect for them. Again, this is a hat that the A's never wore, but it's really cool. It's got that old A's logo on the front. Again, dual colorway going, so it's got that Kelly green. The Eagles used to have Kelly green. I do hope my Eagles wear those old Kelly green jerseys at least for a once a year type deal. I'm still, as most Eagle fans are, we want to see those colors again someday. But anyhow, the A's, of course, had it, and the A's do wear it as an alternate jersey. So it's got the Kelly green brim. It's got the yellow, canary yellow front, logo on the front, and everything else on the hat, including the button, is the Kelly green. Classic A's colors. Got plenty of those classic A's jerseys in the collection. So yeah, you know which one. And I got a few A's hats, but this one, this definitely goes with those jerseys. Another HatLand exclusive, Chicago Cubs. They went with the 90s Cubby Bear logo. This logo was, I don't know how long they had this logo. I don't think it was obviously not as long as their other, the classic logo that they had from the 80s and whatnot, 70s, 80s. And then now, of course, they had starting in the 90s, they had the walking bear. But they did have this particular logo on the sleeve for a time period. And I have a jersey in the collection. I have a Mitchell & Ness Road Cubs Sammy Sosa, and it has this particular Cubby Bear logo on the sleeve. So when I saw this HatLand, I said, yeah, I know which one this is going with as far as my jerseys. So there it is. Again, no Batterman logo. It's just all that royal blue, and then it's got the Cubby Bear logo and, of course, the red button, which the Cubs have on their hats. So, and it has this time they had the black underbrim. They did not put, which I'm a little disappointed with. They didn't put a gray underbrim or green even. They just went with the black, but it is what it is. And these are all new eras, by the way. All these hats, besides the Fry Guy hat, they're all new era. I don't think the Fry Guy hat's a new era hat. Oh, it is. I'm sorry, I misspoken. They're all new era. Sorry, Fry Guy. But anyhow, next off, this, of course, being the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, kind of a modernized version of that particular hat. It does, though, have the gray underbrim. And, again, this was a HatLand exclusive. Black brim, the purple crown. It's got the black button on top, and the Batterman logo is on the back of this one in the Rays colorway, the old Devil Rays colorway. At least purple and black with a white silhouette there. Very colorful front. Now, of course, a lot of those old Devil Rays hats had TB with the Ray, but of course they had this also as another, like an alternate hat, just the full Ray in this circle right there, oval, I should say, and that was like a secondary logo, I believe, for them, but they had it on hats at that time too, and so HatLand redid that one, I guess, for their 25th anniversary, although there is no 25 patch on that one, but I think maybe that's why they did that one. This one's really cool. In fact, I never even knew the Royals had this as a logo, but this is a Kansas City Royals HatLand exclusive with that old school Royals logo, the old King logo right there. Very nice. I got, old, baby blue Royals jerseys in the collection. I got Bo Jackson, got George Brett. So this hat definitely goes with them, just for the colorway and just for the full logo there. Very cool. Different. Something you don't see all the time. So, again, it's a HatLand exclusive, and this time they did put the gray under brim. Very nice. Classic hat right there. And last but not least, so when these first came out last year and they were available on lids, I didn't go after them. And I misjudged the Marlins fans because, you don't see them that much at games. So I thought maybe I would have time to hold off on it. But this one sold out pretty quick on lids. Okay, it probably wasn't because I'm a Phillies fan and I wanted it. So there's probably plenty of other fans of other teams that wanted this hat because it's a classic hat. Nice logo on the side of it. So this is the 25th anniversary Marlins hats. One of their hats they wore with their 25th anniversary last season. Them and the Rays both celebrated their 25th anniversary, if I'm not mistaken. But the this kind of goes back to their original years, their inaugural season. They had this one, and they had the all teal with the teal brim. And I do have some old school Marlins jerseys representing their inaugural season. I have the home and away set for Gary Sheffield. So this hat definitely goes with them. And here it is, dual colorway. So you know I like it. Black brim. It's got the gray under brim, kind of again showing that, you know, that classic look to it. Marlins logo on the front. That back then they were the Florida Marlins. Now of course they're the Miami Marlins. Yes, the team I'm hoping the Phillies sweep next weekend at home. Come on, Phillies. But anyhow, there's the old logo. I certainly remember this logo. But very nice hat. We got the black button on top. It's got the Batterman logo in the back, and there's the logo right there, the 25th Annie logo for the the Florida/Miami Marlins. There it is. And like I said, this hat sold out real quick. So when HatLand got them in, I was like, it gave me a second chance at them, and I grabbed it, you know, again, to go with some jerseys in the collection. So usually when I get a hat, it's normally going to be to go with jerseys in the collection. Sometimes I'll get the hat before the jersey because the hat might be harder to get down the road than the jersey. It's happened. So, you know, when I have a chance to jump on a hat or get a second chance like I did with HatLand for that Marlins, grabbed it, you know, because who knows, down the road might not be able to find it again. So anyhow, that's it. Just, you know, again, the HatLand exclusives in the collection. I have many more hats in the collection that you're not seeing here. This is just, I don't even think this is the tip of the iceberg. This is like the little snow particles that go on the tip of the iceberg. So there's plenty more hats in my collection, and over time, you know, I'll do a video here and there showing them. You know, I have, you know, lots and lots to go through. So probably not always going to have them up there, but I'll do a video like this every now and then, you know, showcasing some of the hats in the collection. So, you know, the hat heads or anyone else out there who would appreciate it, you know, will enjoy those vids. So anyhow, thanks for watching. As always, a happy Father's Day out there to all the fathers out there, including my dad. Spent some time with him today. Good to see him, and you know, we had a nice lunch, and nice to spend time there. But happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Congratulations to the St. Louis Blues winning their first ever Stanley Cup. They came in the league the same year as the Flyers in 1967. This is their first Stanley Cup title. I know those fans have been long suffering for many years. So congratulations to them and to their fan base. Enjoy it. Like I had to learn with the Eagles, you will definitely be spending some money on the merchandise. So congratulations to you. And also congratulations to the Toronto Raptors, to my friends from the North. And you stay classy, Canada. And, you know, the Raptor fans, of course, gained their first championship. It was a week of firsts, right? You had the Blues winning, then you had the Raptors winning, two teams that never won a championship. Of course, the Blues, it took a little longer. But the Raptors, of course, came in the 90s. I believe, what was it, 95? They came in the league. So congrats to those fans there. Enjoy it. Live it up for all it's worth. I certainly did it when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I did it when the Phillies won the World Series in 08, although that wasn't their first. Their first was 80. And the Eagles had won championships, boys and girls, before the Super Bowl. But and everyone keeps, but it wasn't a Super Bowl. Well, now they did. So I certainly lived it up for those teams. So I definitely know what it's like. And, you know, again, congratulations to both the Blues fan base and the Toronto Raptors fan base. Now, hopefully the Sixers and the Flyers can, you know, at some point, I'm not asking for much, just some point, let's go get this thing, guys. Even though it wouldn't be their first, it'd be my first, okay, because I was too young for 1983 when the Sixers last won. I wasn't even born when the Flyers last won, 1975. Oh, my. Ooh. Yeah, the Flyers probably have one of the longer droughts now in hockey. I know there's probably other teams, but the Flyers are, yeah, it's been a while, guys. I think we just need to get on this thing a little more. Huh? I know we've run into a lot of bad luck. Every time the Flyers get to a finals, they seem to play a dynasty team or a team that becomes a dynasty. It's like, geez, man, give us the Winnipeg Jets. No disrespect to the Jets, but give us them. Yeah, you know, why do we always got to play these big dominant teams? Just give us something else. We've tried that with those other teams, and it doesn't work. And for the Sixers, as I said in the last vid, I don't think they're that far away. In fact, I mean, I know with hindsight is what it is, and it is what it is. But Sixers came closest to being those champions. They came closer than the Bucks did. They came closer than the Warriors did. I mean, it took Game 7 on a Kawhi Leonard incredible shot, to beat the Sixers. So if there's anything there to kind of hang the hat on, as tough as it is, maybe it's that. I mean, the Sixers gave them more of a series than even the mighty Warriors did. So even though they had some injuries, and that it is what it is, but the Sixers still took them to 7 in Toronto. It took a crazy shot to beat the Sixers. There is something to be said about that. Yeah, it's still tough. But anyhow, we'll see what happens. I know, hey, look, the wackiness of the NBA offseason started with Anthony Davis getting traded for half the team with the Lakers. I mean, it is what it is. LeBron, he wanted AD there, and finally he gets AD there. So I guess that's a win for LeBron. But boy, they gave up a king's ransom to get him. So the Lakers better damn well hope that works out. Or LeBron, yeah, you wanted him, huh? All right. This is your doing. So we'll see how it works out. The offseason's coming up, and as we know, it could be a very wacky offseason in the NBA. I'm still hoping Jimmy Butler stays here, although with AD now going to the Lakers, now it's like rumors that, they want Jimmy Butler, and it's like, I want the Sixers to be good. The Lakers have had so many times for them. I want to be good. Okay? The Sixers need to be good too, okay? Because this is a fan base that's, this is a proud franchise, and the fan base has been waiting too, a little longer than the Laker fans have been waiting, with all due respect. A little longer than the Laker fans have been waiting for a title, okay? And let's not forget they beat us back in 2001. So, yeah. Again, Philadelphia going up against the dynasty type team in the finals title. Although we did beat the Patriots, so there is something to be said. We did. In fact, I know I've gone on 30 plus minutes. Philadelphia has been responsible for the only 2 championship losses Boston's had in the last how many years, right? The Eagles in Super Bowl 52, and the Blues. Let's not forget. Again, a little disappointed it wasn't the Flyers. But the Blues started their resurgence this season after being in Philadelphia in that Mummers Bar with the Eagle fans watching the double doink game in Chicago when the Eagles won. The Eagle fans got all crazed, as we always do. And it lit a fire under the Blues. So the Eagle fans and the Eagles have been involved in the last 2 championships that Boston has lost. And it doesn't happen that often over there. Okay, we all know they've been a very charmed city, and for the past decades. It just never seems to stop for that city. But the last 2 titles that city has lost, Philadelphia's had a little hand in that. Oh yeah. So we should be now known as the Boston Stopper City. Okay. The Eagles got him in Super Bowl 52, and the Blues with former Flyer and former Flyer head coach Craig Berube. Braden Shen was a part of the Flyers too. Another Flyers connection. And Gloria, the song that they got inspired by, was from that bar in Philadelphia. It all started in Philadelphia for the Blues, and they go on to beat the Bruins in the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm just saying, Boston, the last 2 times you lost, Philadelphia had a hand in it. So to the rest of the sports world out there, you're welcome. Anyhow, that's it for me. Philly. I will see you all in the next video here on YouTube. Thanks for giving me some of your time. You take care, everyone. Be good. And to St. Louis and Toronto, just be careful when you're celebrating. That's all I'm saying. Don't get too crazed. If we could, if the city's still standing here after the Eagles won, okay, certainly St. Louis, the Arch, and Toronto can still be standing after you guys win, okay? So that's all I'm saying. Be prepared to spend, though. Just be prepared. Your man caves and, she sheds or whatever, you're going to have a few extra items in there on the walls and around, and shirts. I even just the other day I picked up another Super Bowl 52 champion shirt. You know, it never stops. Never ends. Can never have enough. Because those are the moments that we don't always get here, so you got to cherish them. All right, everyone, this time for sure, I'm going to sign off. I'll see you all in the next vid. Take care, everyone. Happy sports watching. Bye.